Are you looking for ways to help your young athlete grow while they're in their complexity? Talk Shit Get Hit 7. This is a place where last year boomers or the beginning of Gen X age groups want to raise their kids or grandkids differently than the way they were raised. Let me state that when I talk about scholar athletes, I do talk about those in the marching band, concert members, all art and all music musicians. A brilliant TED Talk speaker, Bill Eckstrom, said it perfectly for all parents to understand. He said, "What makes you comfortable can ruin you, but only in a state of discomfort can you continually grow." These young athletes have a balancing act to do. There's a lot of how do I grow? What strategies do I use? And what they have to do is they have to balance between what's going on in their brain and their mind, and then what's happening at school with their friends and the different social events that are happening. They have to balance all that out. Along with that balancing act, they also have to balance out what strategies for their game do they want to learn. And then how are we going to do that and not stay in comfort? As a parent watching on, we have to realize that we can help them become great leaders. Watching them and letting them live their own lives is the key. By letting go of the control, parents are actually creating ambitious learners. But then there comes the time when we know that they're frustrated or they're feeling some kind of pain, and we just want to make it go away for them. I believe that some of us in this age group that I'm in, the late boomers, the early Gen X, that we might possibly feel this way, and maybe we want to take it all away because we couldn't verbalize how we felt, because we were worried maybe there would be some pushback and maybe there would be some verbal abuse back to us. I think that's why I always wanted to take away my daughter's frustrations in their swimming or volleyball. If you think about it, our little ones had to learn to roll over and how to use a spoon, and we didn't do it for them. We just watched. We let them do it. We let them practice. We saw their frustration. So when we see our kids going through frustrations like that, but in older bodies now, we have to take a breath and remember it's good for them. They need to try. I do have to confess that my younger daughter brought this up. That yes, I was a mom who had the young kids in all of their pads with wrist pads and knee pads and elbow pads, and when they were doing their scooters. And I know I wasn't supposed to do that because they couldn't even grasp the brake. But I think I had that from growing up, and I just wanted to let them know I was there, but I also didn't want to experience broken bones. What if I told you that keeping your daughter in a state of comfort will prevent her growth? Something to think about. It is already known through studies like the University of Rochester Medical Center that the brain does not fully develop until the age of 25. Keep in mind that we are the guides for our child's mind and brain. Another study using applied science comes from Bill Eckstrom's complexity rings. It shows how discomfort from your ordered life can actually make you grow. Number one, it can be forced on you, like losing a job or a parent in preteen age. The second way can be like a mentor or coach or parent, when maybe you have a coach for tennis or with debate or whatever that your skill is. The third one can be brought on by yourself by going into uncharted territory. This last one keeps us on our toes. It makes us look outside the box, and it makes us look in other areas that we never really would have. Don't get me wrong, having predictable moments during your day is what we need to have, but not continually. It's good to have your children come home and feel safe and have a normal routine, and they sit at the table to eat dinner together earlier or later, and they have a place where they can feel safe and secure. But we are like their training wheels. And sometimes we have to announce, hello, it's time to go on your own, and we're taking those training wheels off. My daughter Tara's story is a great example of how Bill Eckstrom's complexity works. So there was an intermission during volleyball. She got upset. She was frustrated. She just left, went to the van. So I followed her. She stated how she was going to quit, and that was it. So I had to be the parent in this complexity for her. I had to let her sit in her emotions and let her feel them. And then after a while, I said, would you like to hear my opinion? That's really important. We can't just keep pushing our opinions on them. They have to kind of ask and think about it. So she said yes, and so we laid out her choices. And she started to think about them one by one and really taking them all in. Trying to be neutral here was very hard. And it's just so hard as a parent not to just tell them what to do. But we have to let them think about it. At this point, she was in swimming as well. And she was part of a junior Olympic relay team that always gets gold. So that was kind of like, do I stay with volleyball, which is new, but I love it, or do I go back to swimming? So she did pick swimming. She went forward. But because she weighed the pros and cons, and because I didn't just push my agenda or my feelings on her, she worked through hers herself. The magic of Bill Eckstrom's complexity is that we let go and our daughter gets to choose. Sometimes speaking about a complexity that happened to us and sharing that with them, we are a safe place for them and secure, so they want to hear our stories. They matter. Her mind was made up. She went back with volleyball. She learned that she had to set up times to speak to her coach, that I couldn't do the talking for her. But then she went on to be first recruit for her university, and then she was selected by her church to go to Hungary and to coach other girls. Having that upset in the van and then working through it gave her self-confidence. That self-confidence went on through high school, into college, and now she is a coach for the place where she used to play as a senior in high school. Now it's her chance and her time to help other girls, to teach them that they have to speak up, but to know that their achievements are right around the corner with their self-confidence. Because we chose to do things differently with our kids, we can see all of their achievements. In the end, it is clear to see that if you live in predictable and comfort all the time, yeah, it is a great feeling. However, we will never realize our actual potential. It is by living in these areas of complexity, which is where we will find our growth. You have to watch Bill Eckstrom's TED Talks. They are fabulous. You can find all of this in my book, Parenting Scholar Athletes, Chapter 14, The Scholar in All Her Glory. Until next time, be you. Continue to show your love and expand your heart.